Steve, whose taxes are in a bit of a state?
America's,
Yes,
presumably.
states, yes.
This would be POTUS, as they call him. The world's clumsiest and most graceless acronym. President of the United States. They have this strange thing in America where once a year the president is allowed an hour of primetime television to talk about how marvellous he is and how marvellous everything is. Can you imagine primetime TV in Britain? They suddenly handed over for an hour to David Cameron to tell you how marvellous everything is. I mean, you'd be on the Dave channel before you could say POTUS, really, couldn't you? So he mainly talked about taxes and how the very rich ought to pay more taxes, which was handy because Mitt Romney, the leading Republican candidate, had to declare his tax return this week. And it turned out he'd only paid 13% tax on an income of $41 million. But it isn't true that all very rich Americans are sort of selfish tax dodging. Bill Gates, for example, who's the richest man in the world, is giving it all away. This week, he gave away another $750 billion, but he also popped up in Deptford, in southeast London. He popped up and spoke to a school assembly.
Hello, I want to tell you how to be a success in business.
In his kind of Kermit the Frog voice, Apparently he was very good. He spoke for 40 minutes, and then he suddenly said, sorry, Microsoft ex-chairman has encountered a problem and needs to close, and left. But he's an American billionaire who seems like a decent
he's
type.
A good egg.
Well, also Obama referenced in the State of the Union this thing called the Buffett rule, suggested by Warren
You can't
Buffett.
go until everyone's been... No.
That was very much it, really. The Buffett rule, I think, says that millionaires should not be paying less tax proportionately than their secretaries.
Mitt Romney has now been replaced as the Republican frontrunner
by Newt
Gingrich, despite the fact that he previously stole Christmas.
Americans must be starting to wonder, when they're looking at an election in which the three main candidates are called Barack, Newt, and Mitt. There are IKEA storage cabinets with more sensible names than this.
Did you see that Obama says his most treasured possession is the flag that was carried by the Navy SEAL team who shot Osama bin Laden?
And the ball that they balanced on their nose.
President Obama pledged to tackle the tax breaks of the super-rich in his State of the Union address as Mitt Romney's tax affairs continued to dominate the Republican presidential race. Obama said that the millionaires should be subject to the Buffett rule, named after Warren Buffett, which is a light wind that annoys rabbits.